It's 6:30, I call the meeting to order. First order of business is public comment. If anybody has a comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address, address your comments to the board and not the audience, and you have 3 minutes. Uh-oh. Mr. Quigley.
Statement coming now. Call the supper.
Hello, I'm Don Quigley, 75 Turtle Pond Road, and I just wanted to show up here tonight and let you know that I've been duly sworn in as moderator for the next period of time till the next election. And looks like it's going to be a pretty busy year in 2020 relative to the number of elections and deliberative sessions and so forth. And so I'm just here to sort of connect with this body and make sure that to ask you for as much help as possible in my learning curve for this new job. And I think we're going to be working together on several kinds of things. And I look forward to any encouragement or advice you might have along the way. So that was my primary thing. I wanted to be here tonight to make that comment to all of you and to the town as well. I also have a document here that, as you know, I've done some forestry work for the town on the Maud Jones Memorial Forest. It is the year for a tree farm reinspection, recertification of the Maud Jones Tree Farm. And coincidentally, I'm appointed by the state to be the inspector of the tree farm and have met with the Conservation Commission. And through that board, we've gone through all the documents relative to recertifying the property as a tree farm, and we'll be revisiting the Maud Jones Memorial Forest Management Plan as we go forward, and with all the help from the Conservation Commission in that one. But there is a small matter of a signature of the landowner, and so traditionally that's been somebody from the select board that's made that signature. So I don't know when probably isn't the right time to do that, but I can leave the document with the administrator and see if it could be signed by somebody on the select board. And if you'd like me to come in and talk more about the tree farm program or the recertification process, I'm glad to do that. I've had good discussions and good cooperation with the Conservation Commission. And, I think it's a great piece of property, and we'll have a lot of good educational opportunities with it as we go forward. So I can leave the document with somebody? Yep. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one question? Are you signed up for the training?
As far as I know, the training hasn't been scheduled yet.
Okay.
And as soon as it's scheduled,
Okay.
talk to Julie, and she says she'll keep me posted on anything that the town hears about scheduling, and I'll be sure to beat my way to Concord and take part in any training that I can.
I appreciate you volunteering, or did you get hooked in? I'm not sure.
It wasn't that painful.
Wasn't that painful?
But I'm glad to give it a try. And it's something I've always enjoyed, the skills of the moderators we've had in the past. Had some great people, and so if I can do part of the job they've done with it, I'll be pleased, and hopefully the town. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? No. Third order of business, Annie Guzowski, Library Trustees Chairperson.
At this time, we'd like to bring on a new alternate trustee. We have 5 trustees usually, but in August, Bill Johnson had to resign because they were moving to Austria. So we were down 1, and at this time, up until this time, we've had 1 alternate, and we'd like to have a second alternate, and that would be Doug Frazier. He filled out the application, and he's very willing to come on board. I'd like to introduce him.
Delighted.
You don't want to come up, say a few words?
Well,
There you go.
I'll be right back.
well, it is. We just moved into back into town My wife lived here years ago, and we moved back 4 months ago, and we're delighted to be here. The sense of community is here. It wasn't quite where we were before. And so it's a joy to be here and a joy to help out wherever I can, so.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I move to approve the appointment of Douglas Fraser to the Board of Library Trustees to serve until March 2020. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, you're right.
I have to get a little one more.
Oh, I understand.
Bye, Anna. Bye-bye, see you.
Thank you very much.
Item number 4, Chief Bronsfield.
Good evening. At the last meeting, it was brought up about the usage of Stevens Field, lights being used after dark, people in the parking lot. I made a phone call to Joff Carlton. He wasn't aware it was an issue. He'd used the lights last year, but since our conversation, the lights have been removed. He said that he would talk to the parents, send an email out about keeping people out of the parking lot, and since then, it hasn't been an issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I did double check the policy that the board has established for all of the parks and fields is dawn to dusk.
Dawn did this.
So we may want to address that going forward.
His agreement with the town ends when?
He just applies to use the fields, but
So
other
it'll be
than that,
next spring.
yes. Assuming he still wants to use the field, but yes.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Item number 5, Julie Dwyer, Town Administrator.
So you saw in the agenda packet, the sales ratio information that Mr. Marsh provided the cover sheet to from the state. It continues to go down. The state has now estimated it approximately 77% for the 2019 tax year. I put a call into DRA, head of the equalization department. I haven't gotten an answer back, or a call back yet. I mean, there are state statutes that provide that the DRA can petition the BTLN if they think a town should do a reval or reassessment. I just wanted to talk to some of the DRA as to whether they actually ever do that. So, our regular reval is not scheduled until 2021.
Is there something to be, could we calculate, because if we did it early,
Mhm.
would that save us any money with this, with the school district? Because we seem to get killed, because,
Well, it's 2 years behind
but I'm thinking,
going forward.
yeah, so,
I mean, it would be better for it to be closer to 100, because that does get put into the mix. But then again, you know, they equalize that, so if our assessments are reflected accurately, then that's still gonna, do you know what I'm saying? That's still gonna be used as the formula, so whether they're put in because the state redid the numbers, or whether we do a revow.
and reval is 60,000?
We haven't spent quite that in the past couple of years, but I would not be surprised if that's what it is the next time we go out for it.
Okay.
So obviously I'll report further after I talk to DRA. Any other questions?
No.
So we are continuing to negotiate with Revision on the solar array power purchase agreement. There's going to be a conference call with myself, our attorney, Revision's attorney, and possibly other parties from Revision. So that process is ongoing. As you're aware, our attorney has some concerns with some of the terms of the PPA. So she's hopeful that we can work that out. So I'll continue to keep you apprised. So you may recall, back in May, I was gonna say it was a few months ago, because it was more than a few months ago. Dr. Morse was here, and one of the items that was discussed, because it would have been relatively recent, it would have happened in February, actually, that the town of Lee had been charged to use the Massway School for the deliberative sessions. Specifically speaking, we had to pay for the custodian to come in on a Saturday. And so the board and Dr. Morse had a conversation about that, and Dr. Morse agreed to refund the town's $300 that we paid for the custodian, which we did receive a check from the school department. And subsequent to that, an agreement was reached between the school and the town that presumably neither party would charge the other for the use of fields and facilities. Fast forward to now, and we have not had the need to use any of the school's facilities. However, the Sustainability Committee wanted to use the Massway School for their recent program on Saturday. And I found out on Friday, Mr. Gazowski forwarded an email to me from the school, someone in their facilities department, that what they meant when they came to that agreement was, with the select board, was usage fees for the rooms, but that the cost of the custodian was still going to be borne by the town. Now, we've never paid any usage fees to the school. The only thing that we've ever, in my memory, been charged for was to reimburse for the custodian. So, I mean, certainly I didn't think that that's what the school meant. And I don't want to speak for you, you're sitting here, you can speak for yourself, but I don't think that that's what you thought either, because what would have been the point of the agreement when all we've ever paid for was the custodian? So, Dr. Morse agreed to waive the custodial charges so that the Sustainability Committee could still have their program on Saturday. So I don't know whether the board wants to revisit this with Dr. Morse. He will be here at the next meeting. He was scheduled to be here anyway. So I don't know whether you want to revisit that with him.
Sure. I think it's worthwhile having a discussion.
Could you let him know that we would like to discuss that with him?
Yeah.
And since you're allowing me to speak for myself, I'm just kidding. It was my understanding in terms of having the conversation with him that it was pointless to keep charging ourselves back and forth. There was no discussion about, well, we won't charge you for the room, but we'll charge you for the custodian. So in my eyes, that should be, the sustainability committees should be able to use the facility without being charged anything, since they're part of the town. So if they want to
Well, I don't-
continue that,
Right.
that's good.
My sense
but-
was that it's not just the Sustainability Committee that they wanted to, but it would also still be us
Yeah,
for,
well, they're part of the town.
right.
It's the town who's doing that. So I guess I'd like to hear what he has to say about that.
Mhm.
Personally, you know, if they want to charge for custodians up there, then we can charge for our custodian to clean up when they have their events here too, so.
Exactly.
And that's not the point of the agreement. The point of the agreement is to stop charging ourselves back and forth.
I agree.
So let's hear what he has to say, but if you could let him know that that's what we're going to talk about.
Scott.
Oh, Mr. Gazowski.
Paul Gazowski, 46 Lamprey Lane, the chair of the Sustainability Committee. First off, I just would like to comment that Saturday went smoothly and the interface with the custodian was excellent and we helped each other out. In reviewing all this and looking at it, I think you might want to revisit the specific language of the agreement because there are two sentences that read differently. What the town offered to do for the school district is not quite the same language that what the school district offered to do for the town. So I don't know if Julie had a chance to look at her email today, but I sent her an email to that effect. So I think underlying all this, there might be a language matter that maybe could be resolved. But outside of that, hopefully you can have a good conversation and we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
No?
Yes.
That's it?
All right, item number 6, I move to accept the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Do you want to do these now?
Certainly. There's not that many, is there?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? I just kind of slid it over.
Cool. I also had a complaint about my signature today from a town
Really?
employee. Yeah.
I didn't like
She was
it.
very brutal.
Couldn't read it?
She says basically it's a squiggle, an S with a whole bunch of squiggles after it, so.
Well, nothing wrong with that, as long as you can identify it. Want the rest of it?
Mr. John, I guess.
There isn't here. Doesn't need two. I noticed there's a lot of zoning board changes going on
Mm.
here. Is there a mass walkout or something I should know about?
That's a walkout.
Just ask.
Just do what Karen tells you.
I guess it's legal then.
All set. I move to enter a non-public session, New Hampshire RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2A. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. LaFors?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley, yes.
Last week, this is
And
somebody
we
else's.
forged Scott's.
What? Forged my signature?
Wow, that looks like
So-
a chunky signature.
We're not sealing the minutes from those two, from that meeting. So item number 9, miscellaneous unfinished business. Anything? Anything with the planning board?
Nothing's really happening. Bedrock Gardens happened to come up and there's still some slight things occurring, but they're following through. So I think things look good for them to open up in the spring.
Are they clearing the land and putting in the parking lot and all that?
They started clearing the land. I don't think they put in the parking lot yet, but they're getting, a lot of the other things didn't take care of. The landscaping plans have been approved. There's a few things left over, but they're following through at this point.
Okay.
So things are looking at
So
positive.
they're planning on opening 2020
Yeah.
for this? Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
Nothing else?
No, nothing else in the planning board.
Okay. Anything? Okay. Nothing. Oh, how many people for the volunteer?
We're at 79.
That's December 5th, is that right?
I'm not sure if 2 are gonna be able to make it, so.
So 80 is the limit?
Yep.
It's Thursday, what is it? The
The
6th?
5th.
The 5th, right? Yeah, the 5th.
Okay.
You'll remind me, won't you,
Um,
Denise, like you normally do? Thank you. I appreciate that.
The other thing, you gave me the police departments, when did you give the deadline for the rest of the department heads
I
for?
think it's what, December 2nd,
Okay, so we'll have them for that,
sometime, but by then,
whatever our next meeting is, okay?
yeah.
Because you sent us the spreadsheet to work on salary stuff too, so, all right. That's it.
Okay.
Move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.